Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing out there in TV land? I had to take a sick day to take care of my ailing daughter, and then tomorrow I have jury duty. But in the meantime, you guys can take a look at some controversial issues. I created a PowerPoint for this purpose, so I'm going to go ahead and just share that now. All right, so present. Let's go to slide one, huh? All right, everybody. So we've started talking about writing a claim before, but we never really had topics. All right, we had some silly little opinion topics, little warm ups, but today we're going to get into some serious topics. You need to remember that in order to have a good claim, you need an opinion and you need reasons why. Remember that your opinion for an issue that's controversial is a word that means basically nobody agrees. And there's like no actual answer, right? So it could either be you either do it this way or you could do it this way, right? There's not like, it's not like with 2 plus 2 is 4. Like that's not controversial, right? We know 2 plus 2 is 4. That's it, right? What would be controversial is if you said 2 plus 2 is 3. And then I'd have to ask you to prove it. So controversial has to do with, some issue that some people believe and then other people don't believe. All right. So if you have a situation where some believe and some don't, what you're going to be doing, right, is you're going to be trying to convince people that you are right. Okay. And that's the whole point of an argumentative essay. So controversy means that there's no agreement, right? So a person's opinion is the attempt to answer something that is controversial. Okay. As you see here, right? A person's opinion is the attempt to answer something controversial. Reasons why, in order to convince others, because that's what we said, right? You want to convince people that your controversial opinion is the correct one. In order to convince others that your controversial opinion is the correct opinion to have, you must convince others that you are right. And so you do that by providing reasons, right? So it's not just, well, I feel this way because it's just what I've always believed. And so you should believe it too because it's what I've always believed. I mean, come on, you need reasons. You need actual reasons so that people can actually get behind what you're trying to do. This is an election year, so you definitely are getting a sense of this front and center, how people need to convince other people to vote for the right person, right? So forming an opinion. The opinion you have for your chosen controversial issue is yours completely. All right. So to tell you how to form an opinion can be kind of complicated because it's your opinion. And I cannot get into your brain and say this must be how you feel. Okay. So the opinion that you have for your chosen controversial issue is yours completely. No one can tell you how to feel about an issue, which means your opinion is completely your own. So, how do you form an opinion on an issue? Most of us, and I mean this, most of us, and I mean us human beings, most of us will look for information, right, that can help us create our opinion. All right. You do this all the time. If you decide, like, maybe I want to buy this particular phone or this particular device or this video game, you probably are reading the reviews before you pay for an app that you're going to download. You're probably reading the reviews. What do other people say about that app? Is it really worth the money? Is it really something that I want to spend my money on? So when we think about money and how we spend it, it's really easy to see how we can help form our opinions for ourselves, right? Because when we're talking about money, you don't want to just waste it. You don't want to just spend it on anything. You want to make sure that you're spending it once on the right thing, you know? So if that helps you understand this idea of research, right, then definitely keep that in your mind. Learning about an issue is easier than it used to be because we have the internet. It used to be back in my day, I had to go into the library and look through stacks of books. And these are books that are written some 10 years before. So who knows even how accurate the information is anymore. So the internet is pretty fascinating in that way alone. However, we will learn that we still need to be careful about where we get our information from. But we're not going to learn about this today. All right. That's a whole nother story about evidence, finding evidence, good evidence. We're not going to do that today. We need to focus today on writing a good claim with reasons. So today you're going to select a topic from the following 3 slides. All right. The list of topics can also be found on the assignment post. All right. As I showed you already. Well, as you'll learn from watching the other video. You'll need to write a claim on that topic. For some topics, you might already be familiar. For other topics, you may need to explore a little bit. There are several websites that are specifically concerned with looking at controversial issues and providing the reader with basic facts on the topic. Honestly, Google, all right, and that's a really, really good start. Find a newspaper article, try to find an article that gives both sides, all right? So it's just giving you the facts, all right? There's plenty of articles titled like, the facts about, whatever the issue is, all right? And so those are good ways to help yourself learn about a topic. Wikipedia is going to give you some examples, but probably not a ton, because Wikipedia really focuses on things that are historic, not on controversial issues. Procon.org, I believe, and I'll include a link, is a good place to start as well, but you really can't quote from that site. However, if you want to learn about a topic, it's not a bad place to start. All right, so to write your claim, you're going to need to provide your opinion on the topic, and you're going to have to give 2 reasons why you feel your opinion is correct. You can use Google Form to complete this. I decided not to go with the doc. We're going to do a Google Form. I feel like it's a little bit quicker, easier for you guys. So here are the topics. There's a lot. There's 35 topics. I don't think you really want me to read through all of these. Pretty sure that you can probably read them for yourselves. There's some fun ones here. Does your vote count? I mean, that is like, could you think of a better topic for 2020? Does diversity in media matter is a very complicated topic, and media does not necessarily just mean newspapers and journalism. Media can be, basically media is, music is media, film is media, television is media, video games are media. So media is like anything like that, right? Like in our pop culture entertainment world. So when they're talking about diversity in media, they're talking about, should there be shows, movies, comic books that are concerned with diversity, that have not just white people, right? But other groups of people that are represented too. So does diversity in media matter? Does the wage gap really exist? The wage gap has to do with genders, right? Women are paid less than men. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but it is sadly very true. One of the reasons why teachers make so little is that teachers traditionally are thought of as female. So you don't really have to pay a woman that much because she has a husband at home who's taking care of her. Like, wage gap stuff is pretty nasty. So those of you that are interested in equality for gender, you might want to take a look at the wage gap. It's a big controversial issue. All right. Gun control in the US. I'm sure we all have an opinion on whether guns should be allowed or not. Should marijuana be legalized? Again, I'm sure there's many of us that have opinions on this. All right. So we can just keep going. How is the president doing at his job? Is widespread increased use of technology good? Do movements like Black Lives Matter and Me Too promote inclusiveness and awareness, or do they create division or inequality? Again, this is a controversial issue. Anybody could argue for either side. What's the greatest threat to our environment? Is celebrity culture harmful or harmless? Celebrity culture, like we watch all these reality shows, right? Like Kanye West, his whole little adventure into whatever he's doing. Like, is that harmful to us as a society, or is that not a problem? The Kardashians. Okay. Should there be restrictions or laws on what types of bathrooms transgender people can use? This has actually been voted on in different states where they're trying to make laws about where transgender people can go to the bathroom. Like, it's a little messed up. So there's some controversy all over the place. The Electoral College, right? Which, if you don't know what the Electoral College is, right, you want to look it up. You want to Google it. What is the Electoral College? What are branches of government? What is homeschooling? All right. So, like, GMO foods, genetically modified organic, by the way, are they good or bad for the country? Again, if you don't know what GMO is, look it up. All right. There are 35 topics here. You may not know all of them. You may only know a handful of them. Okay. But there's no reason why you can't do this assignment. There's no reason why you can't choose one topic where you have some sort of an opinion. Okay. Um, so that's about it for the PowerPoint. Um, I don't think there's really anything else to share about this, to be completely honest. So you guys go about your controversial thing and enjoy your days, and I'll see you tomorrow.